You wake up. It's 6 a.m. Your sleeping bag is damp with morning dew. Birds are going absolutely insane outside your tent. And then you notice it. 2 small holes in your forearm. Perfectly round, perfectly spaced. And you have absolutely no memory of how they got there. This is not a ghost story. This is way more interesting than a ghost story. Every single summer, thousands of campers wake up with mysterious puncture wounds they can't explain. Most of them do what you'd probably do. They panic, they Google vampire, they get exactly 0 useful answers, and then they just move on with their lives. But here's the thing. Those 2 little holes are actually telling you something incredibly specific if you know how to read them. Let's start with the spacing, because this is where it gets genuinely fascinating. The distance between 2 puncture wounds is essentially a fingerprint for whatever left them. Fangs, whether on a snake, a spider, or even a small mammal, are proportional to the animal's head. A standard ratsnake strike leaves marks roughly 8 to 12 millimeters apart. A black widow, barely 1 millimeter. You'd need a magnifying glass to even see the separation. But here's the part most people miss entirely. Snakes almost never bite sleeping humans unprovoked. Almost never. Because to a snake, a motionless human generates no threat signal. You are basically furniture. So, if your spacing rules out spiders and snakes, we start entering stranger territory. Bats. And before you scroll away, hear me out. Bat bites are genuinely notorious for being nearly painless. Their saliva contains anticoagulant compounds that numb the area during feeding. There are documented cases of people sleeping through an entire bat feeding encounter. The wounds are small, clean, and yes, they appear in pairs because of basic jaw anatomy. Bat bites also carry a serious health consideration because they are a primary rabies transmission vector in North America, which means if you wake up with unexplained puncture wounds in a wilderness setting, this is not the moment to shrug it off. Here's the psychological layer that nobody talks about. When we experience something we cannot immediately explain, our brains do something fascinating. They reach backward through our cultural memory and pull out the most dramatic available template. Vampires. The supernatural. Ancient folklore. This happens automatically before rational thought even kicks in. Researchers call this epiphenia, the tendency to find meaningful patterns in random or ambiguous information. Those 2 holes become a narrative because your brain desperately needs one. But the real story, the one that actually matters, is about wilderness awareness. Most campers go into the outdoors with gear lists and 0 actual knowledge about what shares that environment with them at night. The darkness around your tent is genuinely active with small creatures, most of whom are completely harmless, but some of whom absolutely are not. So next time you wake up in the woods with something you cannot explain, resist the vampire instinct. Photograph the wound. Measure the spacing. Note the location on your body. Check your tent for gaps. The wilderness does not deal in the supernatural. It deals in biology. And biology, honestly, is so much more terrifying.